Right, and this was expected that he was going to plead not guilty. We are now getting updates and breaking news that an individual named Mark Donnelly, a lawyer from Houston, Texas, will be representing Maduro's wife. Remember, she's also charged with cocaine charges as well. Donnelly is a former federal prosecutor and is now in private practice with a Houston law firm. We are expected to also hear from the judge. What is going to be expected, despite the fact that Maduro is pleading not guilty, is that the judge is probably going to call for detention until the trial gets underway without bail. And that, as I mentioned, could take a year or even years. So that's something that we're expecting as well. But no surprise there. Yes, Maduro was going to say that he was going to plead not guilty. And also, he's going to pin this on, quote unquote, American imperialism, according to reporters inside the courthouse right now.
It's also interesting as we speak, Susan, in Venezuela, there is the new term of the National Assembly, the Legislative Assembly that has been convened, where we're getting to know that Maduro's son, Nicolás Maduro Guerra, has vowed unconditional support for the interim leader, Rodriguez. That's Delcy Rodriguez. Clearly, Nicolás Maduro's son continuing with the vice president that worked under his father.
Yes, and it's important to note that Nicolás Maduro's son is also on the hook to a certain extent. He is possibly going to be charged allegedly for the trafficking of cocaine from Venezuela to Miami to New York, selling Venezuelan cocaine from Miami to New York for cocaine that the Miami drug dealers deemed not good quality enough for Miami. So we're going to be hearing about Maduro's son as well in the days to come.
That's right. So, of course, as we await what, the judge says, this is a very significant moment, not just for Venezuela, with their deposed president now being tried in an American court, but for the United States as well, which continues to defend its action against Venezuela, not just at home during that press conference, but at a global level as well, as we saw in the UN Security Council meeting that has been convened, that is still underway, that still has countries' representatives speaking about what respective countries think about the U.S. action against Venezuela. Susan, till when can we expect? The arraignment has begun. Now, of course, eventually this will lead to the trial, but how long will this process be through the day?
Yeah. The arraignment is expected to be very fast. The lawyers that we talk to say that this is just very procedural. For example, you can just take into consideration if it was any other individual who was charged with narcotics or narco-terrorism. This usually the arraignment just goes very fast, and by early afternoon, if not less than an hour, this is going to be done. This is very procedural and very common, of course, because of the implications of Maduro and his wife being on trial. This is very significant in the geopolitical aspect of it, but nonetheless, the arraignment itself from a procedural standpoint usually is very fast.
Interesting, Susan. While all of this goes on inside the courthouse, there are several people who are protesting against the capture of Nicolás Maduro as well. So far as we know, a lot of voices coming out of Venezuela had said that we are happy that he has been captured and he is gone. But there are several other voices who also oppose this U.S. action against the president.
Right, we did. We saw those protests not only in Venezuela, but here across the United States as well. There's really mixed feelings. And even those that are protesting against the capture of Maduro, there are a lot of them, notably in government, and this falls along party lines. They're very careful to say that while Maduro was someone that they didn't consider the rightful leader of Venezuela or someone that was putting the population in harm's way because of the way that he was governing, they still believe the manner that the United States went about and did this is not acceptable to them. And one of those aspects is they really thought that, if this was going to go as far as the president of the United States saying that we're going to take over Venezuela and control it, well, that has elements of regime change in it, then it should have had congressional approval. And those are discussions that are happening right now at the United Nations as we speak.